Hello, this is BKRY Media. Today we are interviewing Yummy from Chicago-based clothing brand Devastation, also known as Yumineverfolds. Go ahead and introduce yourself.
Hey yo, what's good? I'm Yummy. You already know, 888. We out in this bitch with BKRY.
From songs like 10 Toes and Sinister Freestyle to amazing one-of-one pieces of clothing. I'm keeping that in. Yummy's creativity seemingly has no limit. So why don't we just jump into it and get a closer view at the artist's creative process? I'm gonna start off the questions pretty simple. Where are you from?
I'm from Southside Chicago. I grew up here after I moved out here from Mexico. I grew up in a small village in Jalisco. It's called Techaluta de Montenegro. And I moved out here when I was still pretty young. So I stayed over by like 83rd in Bush. So, yeah.
How does growing up near a city like Chicago affect you creatively?
This is a hot spot for rappers, for actors, for designers, and honestly just being able to have the chance to be around these people out here that I'm able to network with, and even just being able to come out here with you, I feel like it helps me a lot with my creative process to be able to talk to other people who are doing the same things as I do. I feel like there's a lot of people out here who have a very strong vision, and we see like the violence that's going on out here. We want to make a change, so I definitely want to be a part of that.
What sparked the vision to start doing music, and then what sparked the vision for clothing?
Honestly, man, like growing up, I was having a lot of issues with my mental health and just things that I had experienced growing up that were pretty difficult for me. So that was really just my escape. Once I had gotten a little older, everybody was talking about go to therapy, do this and that, and I never felt like that should really help me much. But what really did help me was to be able to put what I had going on in my head into words. I started writing poetry, and that turned into music. And then with the clothes, I was having a lot of visions that were dark. So instead of letting them kind of chase me around, I would put them down onto a notebook paper. I started looking at them, and the images were looking pretty cool in a kind of a darker way. But I felt like I could incorporate that into something that I wanted to see people wearing.
So it's almost like you took that negativity and kind of molded it.
That was the only way that I
positive.
could really get through that shit, honestly.
Is there anything or anyone you draw inspiration from?
I say like with my music, I really like, I guess, like Lil Peep, Lil Tracy, Lucky. And for me, that's just really just seeing people who, obviously out here in Chicago, everybody kind of makes drill music, trap music, but like the people who are able to move away from that and create their own sound, paving the path for other people to be able to do shit that other people might think is kind of weird, but we don't care. And that's what I like. I'm inspired by people who don't do what everybody else is doing.
So instead of following the path of like drill artists and stuff, kind of paving the way.
Yeah.
Like I know Chicago is big with drill rap, but also like cloud rap and stuff like that. Those subgenres, definitely. So now let's move on to some previous art pieces. The custom Pokemon type hats and the night web pants. Can you give us some insight and backstory on those projects?
Honestly, I just did that shit because I thought it was cool. But, but something about me is when I started making clothes, this is actually kind of odd, but I would have dreams where I was wearing stuff, and when I would wake up, I would have such a vivid memory of what those things were. And I would wake up, and the first thing I do, I have a notebook and I draw
That's
them
cool.
before I could forget. And that's where most of my things have come from. Most of my designs come from things that I see in my dreams or things that I see in my nightmares.
Because I remember seeing like a video, I think it was a TikTok or something, about the Leaf Pokemon one.
Yeah.
And when I saw that, I was like, I gotta have my own. I gotta have one.
Man.
Like, I think it's at the crib, right? Like, it's at the crib, the one I have, the pink one.
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
The Leaf one that I made was the first hat that I ever made, and I loved it so much. I went out for Mexican Independence Day. You know, all the Mexicans pull up to the city. They had everything blocked off. you know, a little messed up. Stuck my head out the window. It went flying. I didn't even get a chance to put the Devastation tag in there, but I know it's somebody out there in the city rocking my shit. I lost it the same day that I finished it. I wanted to rock it, and I stuck my head out the window when I was driving, and yeah, that shit gone forever. But hey, if you found my Leaf type hat, you rocking that Devastation.
Hey, that shit gonna be expensive sooner or later. Somebody's gonna be like, oh, I found this shit on the street. But definitely, that's cold. So how long were you working on these projects before you like showcased them?
Honestly, I feel like I definitely suffer from procrastination, because I'll come up with something and I'll have the idea to actually make it. But once I start making something, from making it to finishing it, that's like all I'm working on, other than, you know, like my 6 to 6 job. But once I get back to the crib, I'm like, I sit in front of my sewing machine. I start working on that shit until I can't anymore, and that's what really helps me have energy to get through the day, knowing that I feel productive and the things that actually bring me happiness.
I feel like I'm the same way, because I kid you not, with the screen printing, like once I get started, then it's like zone in. But I'm the same way. Like I've been sitting in front of that sewing machine for a minute. I look at it and I'm like,
yeah, it's like going to the gym. It's like, you know, once you get your ass there, you're gonna feel good about it. But it's getting your ass there that's the
hard part.
Yeah, but I'm trying to do better with that, because I know I've been lazy, and if I had been working with all the motivation that I have inside of me, I could have been way down the path. I could have been actually somebody that people really know better.
I feel like it's all like timing though. Like sometimes that extra weight, it matters. Like and it definitely improves the craft.
And that's when I know I gotta switch from, okay, I've been making clothes and I'm kind of not feeling it right now. I bet let me make some music, and then I'll work on music for a little bit, and then I'm like, oh, I'm getting tired of this. I'll go back to the clothes. So whatever works, you know.
That's how you know you hungry. You're hungry for that vision.
Oh yeah,
definitely. So if you were to rate those experiences, making those pieces, and even your music, out of like your first couple songs, your first couple clothing pieces, how would you rate those experiences out of 10?
When I was first making clothes, that shit looked trash. That shit looked trash, man. But like, I knew that it didn't have anything to do with me not having a vision. It had to do with me not having any type of experience with actually making some shit. So I practiced, and I put like 2 years into that shit before I even started selling pieces and taking custom orders. And now for me, like, shit, by the end of next year, I don't want to be wearing any clothes except shit that I made myself. Yeah. That's cool. But it makes me feel good, because when I make something and I just step back and look at it, I'm like, damn, I made that shit. And I know it's cool, because like I'll go online looking for something cool to wear, and I don't find nothing as cool as the shit I can make by myself.
That pops out, like, and then you'll look at the idea notes, and it's just much better.
Yeah, man.
Definitely, I gotta get some new pieces soon.
Say less. You already know him.
I'll hit you up sooner or later. So now that we have discussed your previous art, what about anything new or coming soon? Anything you planning soon?
Oh yeah. I don't gotta talk too much about it, but we got some cool shit on the way. Think laboratory. I don't know how much I really want to put out there into the world right now, you know. But I had this vision 2-3 years ago when I was going through a dark phase in my life. Shout out to shrooms for getting me out of that. But I'm grateful for that darkness, because honestly, my inconveniences have all been blessings. They helped me to come up with good ideas. But I keep going back to it. Why haven't I made this yet? And that's the next thing I'm gonna work on. And when that shit drop, I think that's gonna be I feel like that's gonna be the main. I feel like that's what's really gonna pop me out.
So I'm not trying to get you to say too much, but like, is it gonna be still one of ones, or are you gonna make like something that like multiple?
Everything's gonna be one of one. When I make something for somebody, I want them to know that they're never gonna run into anybody rocking the same shit. Yeah.
Definitely. So, as a multifaceted creative, what is your goal when making clothes or music?
I want people to be able to listen to my music and realize that it is an extension of my soul. I want, when I die, for my discography to live on behind me. If I ever had kids and they suffer from the same issues that I face, the same demons, and that they feel that they follow them, I want them to be able to listen to my music and know that they're not alone. And I want other people, I want to be able to touch the earth, and not just like, it's mostly like people who have been through trauma, people who have been through dark stuff. I know a lot of my music is very vibey, but if you really listen to my lyrics, I'm talking a lot about that shit that I feel follows me throughout a daily basis. And I feel like it's important to talk about that shit so that other people can know that they're not the only ones out there who feeling like that.
Definitely. I did give the entire, at least SoundCloud discography, a listen before the interview. And if you truly listen to the lyrics, I can see what you're talking about.
Yeah.
And I see the message. I see what you're going for. You're doing really great.
Thank you, man. Like I always say this to like all my friends. Like, I'm not a rapper. I'm a poet. I didn't start off like, oh, I want to be an artist. I started off writing poems because I needed to let some shit out that I felt like was holding me back. And then I was in the studio with my friends every day back when I was in LA. And one day they're like, Yummy, hop in the booth. I'm like, say less. I just threw one of my poems on a beat, and here we are now.
Just worked out. Well, it's been a great conversation. Thank you for lending me your time and allowing me this opportunity. I really do appreciate it. I have one more question for you before we end this. Who is Yummy for you?
Yummy for me is a person that I knew that I could always be when people look down on me. Shout out my boy Grim, rest in peace, who gave me that nickname when I was a jit. After he passed away, I had everybody. That's the only thing I introduce myself as now. I want the world to see me for who I knew that I always could be. So, thank you.
Very well, there you have it. Go ahead and tell the people where to find you in your art.
What defines me in my art?
No, where to find you in your art.
Alright, say less. Hit me up on Instagram, Devastation, but the O is an 8. And you already know Yumineverfolds on SoundCloud, on my Instagram. And if you need somebody to talk to, hit me up. If you need some clothes, hit me up. If you want to collab, hit me up. I'm trying to do everything. I'm trying to do it all before I take my last breath.
I respect it. This has been BKRY Media with Yummy. We out. Ooh, that's good. That's good.
I thought that was decent.
That's good.